So after you have clipped all of the video segments into a cohesive story on your sequence, you have your opening title, you have all of your music the way that you want it, it makes sense for you. The last step that we need to do is export this video. And I think for a lot of students, the first instinct is to just save this project, and when they're ready to upload or submit the assignment, they actually end up submitting the Adobe Premiere Pro project file. And so when that happens, all I can see are the clips in this sequence, but they're all void of the actual footage, and they're also void of the actual audio. So I can't see or hear anything, but I can see all these empty little clips right here. So that kind of is a problem because I won't be able to see your final video. The other concern is that the Premiere Pro project file is not something that you could upload to YouTube or upload to Vimeo, or even give to a client. So what we need to do when we're ready to distribute or turn in this video is go to File, Export, Media. And there's going to be a lot of settings. And honestly, there's a lot of information out there that will help you make the decision on what this needs to be, what buttons need to be selected, what formats need to be chosen from. So you can lean on some information out there, but I'm going to kind of share from my experiences what my past mentors have showed me. And the first one is this format, H.264. You're going to hear me say it quite a bit, and that's for a good reason. This is one of the preferred formats for YouTube, and YouTube has kind of become the gold standard of what we need to be putting out into the internet. So format H.264. Now, when it comes to these presets, there's a lot of them, and they're great, and I think that you should lean on them when you are needing some help or don't know where to start. So, like I said, YouTube is a great place to start. So we could even select this preset for YouTube 1080p Full HD. So on the output name, this one is kind of overlooked, but is really important because it's going to save you some searching. So the output name, this is how the video is going to be saved and named and where it's going to be saved. So click on this blue hyperlink. It is going to tell us exactly where this is going to be saved. Now, if you didn't do any work in the beginning when you were creating this new project by pointing your Adobe Premiere Pro to your project file that you created, if you kind of lacked on the file management in the beginning, it's probably going to, by default, save this in something like your local C disk, inside of program files, inside Adobe, inside of Adobe Premiere Pro. And so the file is going to be, the video file that you export is going to be really difficult to find. So what I suggest is always clicking on this output name and familiarizing yourself where this video is going to be saved. It's going to be saved on my PC. It will be located on the desktop, and it'll be in a folder titled Sequence B-roll Example. Great. We can even put a name, and we can see how the video is going to be saved as a .mp4, which is fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. The next thing we want to take a look at is the video section, and kind of like just a habit, I always hit match source, and when you do that, it's going to change this preset up here, but when I hit match source, I know that it's going to match the dimensions of the footage and the sequence that I've created. So if you want to play it safe, more than welcome to stick with YouTube, or you can always hit match source. So I can kind of go through here and make sure everything looks great and that I don't have any black bars um, around my video clips. If we did, that means that the video clips are actually smaller than what the sequence dimensions are, which isn't great. We want this entire section to be filled with our video. Other than that, when we get down here to the bitrate settings, that's just if we need to, for example, make this video a smaller file. So I've come across some examples where I've had to help faculty upload a presentation that they filmed, and it had to be below a certain size. So this is a great way to help decrease that estimated file size. Down here at the bottom, you can see estimated file size. So this is going to be 111 megabytes, but I can decrease the bit rate, and we can see that the estimated file size has decreased. All right, so at this point, we're pretty much ready to go. You know, you can take a look at some of the audio settings and familiarize yourself with them, but in all reality, these are going to work just fine the way that they are. I do want to take a look at some of the publishing options. So this actually, Premiere Pro actually will allow you to directly upload to places like Vimeo, Twitter, and YouTube. So if we wanted to upload this directly to YouTube, we could sign in with our credentials. We could tell it what channel we want it to be put on, if there's a certain playlist, title, description. And so really we're able to use this as a one-stop shop. So if you like to do that, if you upload to YouTube regularly, this might be a great option. But if not, you can always go through the Creator tab in your YouTube channel. So honestly, this is where we can push the button to begin creating our video file as a .mp4. So I'm going to come over here to export, and this first section is going to go very fast. The second section might take a little bit of time depending on how large the file is. This one's only 144 megabytes, so it's going to go fairly quickly. Looks like maybe 24-25 seconds. So I'll pop back in when this has finished, and we'll take a look at the final video. All right, so it says the video was exported successfully, so let's hit OK. I'm going to navigate to where the video should have been saved, and it was going to be on my desktop inside of Sequence B-roll example, and it was named example_1. And there we go. So I'm going to take a look at the entire video, make sure everything looks fine, make sure we don't have any problems. So as I'm going through and grading these videos, I'm going to be counting how many distinct clips you have to make sure that the clips that you've included in the order that they're in make sense and tells a story. I want to be sure that your opening and closing segments have some type of continuity to them, and that the music selection makes sense, and that you've taken out all the natural sound. So if you do all those things, you should be doing good. I think some major problems will be maybe not some great clips, or clips that are out of order that don't necessarily make sense. But for the most part, if you stick to the rubric, stick to the things I've taught you in class, you should be doing good. So it looks like that video is going to be great. So I'll be ready to upload that to WT Class, YouTube, Vimeo, however I want to turn this assignment in, or distribute it across my social media platforms. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me, reach out, stop by, and we'll work through any problems that you may have. Thanks.